Hello there. I'm just attempting to get comfortable in front of the camera here. It's funny, these cameras are everywhere that we go, and they're in front of our phones. I actually put a piece of tape in front of my camera all the time just because it's kind of like a sort of a spiritual thing, in my opinion. It's something that always being watched or whatever. So you'd think I'd be more comfortable in front of it, but I guess I just got to train and practice, which is what we're going to do and what we're going to talk about here as this introduction to what I am doing, and you can know a little bit about me. Yes, I'm draped in velvet, but here in Peru, where I'm living now, nobody cares. And if you've seen the Seinfeld episode with George, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't seen it, then I pity you. Type it in on YouTube. Type it in on YouTube right now. George Costanza, Velvet. It's a funny scene. Anyway, so this course you may clicked on here because it's pretty unique, and that's the point. I was thinking, I got back to Peru 2 weeks ago, and I'm just really, I'm usually a construction worker back in the States, building houses and things like that. I like to work hard and get up early and discipline, but I love it down here, and now I have a very unique opportunity. I was thinking, well, what can I teach people? I'm like, I don't like I don't like college. Maybe in my 30s I'll go, but and then I thought, well, what am I doing? What comes natural to me, and that's reading. I like reading scriptures out of the Bible that are, that we can actually use and take lessons from our everyday life, and there's, in the Old Testament, there's lots of kings and things who we can learn lessons from, okay? And this, okay, talking about the Bible first. Now the breath work, that's something that I've been doing for a number of years. I started doing it in Mexico City, up in the mountains, when I took this very strong medicine called Ibogaine. I'm sure if you're here listening to me, maybe you've probably heard of it. It is a very powerful plant from West Africa, and it detoxifies your whole body, and it's just unbelievable. But one of the things that started happening was my breath just started. It felt like just like the ocean going like tide in and out. Just like, it felt so powerful. And for the first time in my life, I realized how important the breathing was. It was just like, it was just turning into this super breath, and I don't believe in coincidences. But the after the 14-hour long experience I had, that's another topic for another day. I clicked on YouTube and found Wim Hof breathing technique right away. So it was pretty cool, and I started doing it, and it just changed my life. I remember my whole body just feeling tingling and feeling so good, and it's really good for people with addiction. We all have addiction, some to varying degrees. Some of us have gone deeper with it than others, and you can use it to your advantage. You can turn that addiction thing around into constructive ways, which is what I'm really living. I can honestly say that. And I'm not perfect. I'm not a guru. I'm not a new ager, really. It's just a shaman. No. I'm really, the more you find out about me and my life, I am quite not that. I look up to a lot of guys, David Goggins, Wim Hof, Jocko. I met him once in San Diego. It was cool. And Wim Hof I've worked with a few times in LA and things like that, but I'm not like those guys to me are like on another level, but I'm striving towards that, okay? And we can all strive towards that, and I think that's the point of a lot of these guys that I look up to's message, and they're saying that we can do it too. So the point with the breath work and the addiction and the semen retention, which I'm sorry, ladies, that you won't exactly be able to relate to that, but you might. Now I don't know. I know that with women you can harvest your energy more on your moon cycle. You can learn how. I just don't know if it's I don't feel like it's appropriate for me to teach. I would like to maybe in the future show a woman or tell a good teacher about this, so then they can teach women. That's kind of how. That's the sort of. Maybe I'm old school about that. I don't know, but so anyway, there's ways that you lose a lot of energy in the blood in your moon cycle, and there's ways to keep your energy. And with men, it's definitely like that with your semen. I mean, think about it. Your semen is this life force energy that creates a child. It's the seed, and by us releasing it all the time, and in your deepest of soul that it's wrong. You when you're doing that, when you're watching those videos and things like that, you feel you don't have authority and power when you go out into the world, because you have that thing, and it's siphoning energy from you. It's siphoning life force. And so that really ties into, it was a huge part of the addiction thing with me. I was addicted to many, many things. Hard drugs, I've been on the streets, heroin and fentanyl and the whole works, okay? So I'm not gonna sit here and try to tell you guys that I'm some sort of, great, let's just say I'm a much better guy today, definitely. But I want to be very honest about my past, honest about who I am, so that you guys can trust me, okay? I've lied a lot, as a drug addict, you lie to you lie to people about what you're doing and stuff. I don't want to do that. So I've turned very much quite the other way, and maybe, let's say, gone to quite the other extreme, where I'm quite, but I'm learning balance now too, I think I went to AA for a long time, and I maybe those of you who've been to AA and stuff, hey, look, there's some benefits to it, I'm sure, as there is most things, but it didn't quite have the spirit that I was really looking for, and which I found through breath work, through some of this, some of these ceremonial works people I've worked with in Colombia and Peru, and true Christianity. At least just reading the Bible, seeing it through almost a psychedelic way, if that makes sense. And the breath work and the semen retention, it's all tied into just really creating real strength in you, and there's a type of cleanness, a type of you feel clean, and when you breathe, you don't feel that heavy. So when you're doing the semen retention, when you're avoiding harmful things, the breath work is tied into all that as well. So I think, and then maybe when I read some of these short stories out of the Bible, and about these kings who didn't do semen retention. King David didn't do that. He had 1,000 wives. He, which that's okay. As long as you marry them, I guess. But and you can afford it. But if David, how much greater he would have been had he not slept with a married man's wife. Well, I mean, he sent the Bathsheba's husband to the front lines. You know, David was king. He could do whatever he wanted. He sent him to the front lines, and he died. He knew that was going to happen, you know. And then he took Bathsheba. It was not a clean thing to do, you know. It's something that you're going to be carrying around here. And I feel like today, in this day and age, there's a thing where, hey, everything's okay. I think that's sort of my problem with the new age a little bit, and like, hey, everything's just whatever. It's supposed to be what it is. You know, let's let all these New World Order people, you know, run everything. Hey, this is all okay because it's all meant to be. And it's like, okay, but if you're a strong man or woman, you're clean and you know what's right, you're going to stand up to that thing naturally. It's going to happen. So what's happened over the last many years through movies, through music, everything's been a systematic degradation of our spirit and our cleanliness and our humanness, you know, which is all so beautiful. Like we're living in just a beautiful place on the planet. It doesn't suck, you know. The fact that people are committing suicide is not good, and we need to do something about that. And I think a lot of the things that I'm going to teach here are tied into that, you know, because I think the porn addiction, the drug addiction, the semen, letting semen go, and with women too. Women, you know, if we're always having sex to feel that dopamine rush or to feel validated, instead of feeling validated by our Creator, you know, which I think is a lot more powerful of a thing to be validated by. Now, look, you know, I like style. I like ironing my clothes and dressing nice and preparing myself to go out into the world. You know, I know the Bible says don't worry about what you wear and all that. So I'm not a perfect specimen here of that. Not Jesus, you know, and so I think some of those things are important, but I think those things come natural when what you're doing, you know, when you're doing some of these key things. So anyway, this is just an introduction, I know. Let's just do a quick breath work so you can kind of see a little bit what I'm doing, okay? So what we're going to do, I prefer to lay down. You can either lay down or you can, you know, sit up like this. You just want to be able to have the maximum capacity of breath to be able to inhale as much as you can. So I prefer laying down, but so you can kind of see me here. We're going to go through 30 breaths. So, okay. So we're going to do it like Wim style. And so what you're going to want to, your belly here, and then just let go. So you're just breathing in as much as you can, but you don't want to do it with like too much. There's sort of a fine tuning to it, as you'll feel what's kind of right for you. You'll feel more relaxed. When you're more relaxed and when you're doing it more effortlessly, you actually feel it more. You feel it, and when your whole body starts to tingle, sometimes my hands curl up. Guess what? I like that, you know. Some people might get scared or whatever, but and if you're feeling like it's just too much, then stop. You know, don't overdo it. But this is not necessarily unhealthy, especially right now with I think there's a lot of respiratory issues going on in the world anyway. You know, and I think this is just going to be good at filter out your lungs. I'm lucky. I'm here in the 12,000 feet high up in the Andes Mountains, so I get pretty clean air to deal with. And when they open up the borders, you guys come on down, and we're gonna start doing workshops here with my buddy, and maybe little tours here and there. You know, it'll be good to help the tourism and the people here. And man, you guys would just love it here too. So anyway, that's a separate issue. So now for men, you can kind of pull up on that thing a little bit, that root. For me, it just kind of happens naturally, and that's pulling up the energy up. But we'll worry about that later. We're just going to do regular breath work. So, okay, so we'll do that 30 times, and then after the 30 times, we're gonna when you feel there's enough oxygen flowing through your body, you're gonna exhale. You're just gonna let it go, and you're gonna sit. You're not gonna do any. You're not gonna breathe. You're just gonna relax in peace. Okay, and that's fine because there's enough oxygen going through your body. You're not gonna need more air until about a minute or so. I didn't bring my watch, so we'll just guess. Yeah, I mean, you should be able to go a minute for sure, and then we'll take so if you can't do it, if you just can't handle it, you're gonna take a deep breath, and then squeeze, and then you're squeezing up that energy, you're squeezing up that oil, and everything back into the rest of your body, and you got, you got some real energy, It's amazing. And this human body is it's pretty cool, man. So, okay. So, 1. 2, inhale. 3. 4. You're just letting go. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. Just breathe toward it too. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Inhale. Let go. Relax. Just relax. Now inhale deep, and squeeze for about 10 seconds. So tighten your body, tighten your down there, tighten your, stuff down there, and tighten it up, you know what I'm talking about. And squeeze it in your head. You're pumping up good stuff into there that it needs. And then just let go and relax. Okay, so we'll finish off, because I don't want to make this too long, because we're already at 20 minutes. Well, hopefully, whatever. Okay, so we're going to finish off with now I read out of the 1599 Geneva Bible. This predates the King James, and that's a whole nother deal. So anyway, where was the verse that I just had? Okay. For they shall increase the length of thy days, and the years of life in thy prosperity. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them on thy neck, and write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own wisdom. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy ways. Be not wise in thine own eyes, but fear the Lord, and depart from evil. So health shall be unto thine navel, and marrow unto thy bones. Honor the Lord with thy riches, and with the first fruits of all thine increase. So in other words, you're going to get everything you need if you trust in God. You don't need to do black magic. You don't need to do weird. You don't need to do all that weird stuff. There's a powerful and just and good way to do it. So I hope that was nice, and we'll see where this goes. Okay, I'm going to be doing this is going to be just on YouTube for now, and then I'm going to do like a what's it called? Like an actual class, an actual course setup thing where I actually make good videos with a professional camera and all that, and that'll be a whole different deal. So, hope you enjoyed that. Peace.